I get very anxious about my health. If I have a headache, dizziness, I am automatically worried that there is a brain tumor. I get myself all worked up as I think I'm dying.
She always seems to have some life or death thing. It blows way out of proportion.
I've had MRI, CAT scans. I thought there was something wrong with my stomach, a tumor, cancer.
But she was fine. They couldn't find anything wrong with her.
I have a WebMD app, a Medscape app. I obsessively check it. And I get myself more worked up, so I go back and get more tests.
It frustrates me to take her to the doctor, especially when I know that there's nothing wrong. It's been a financial burden because medical bills have piled up. It was almost the point where we were living paycheck to paycheck.
I know I'm a hypochondriac because I am constantly worried about my health.
Intellectually, at a cognitive level, you get that you're not sick.
I know my thoughts are crazy. They're irrational.
But yet, you still have the feeling of fear that something's going to jump up and get you.
Yeah, it's like there's this small voice inside my head that rules everything. All of my thoughts that's saying they're missing something, there's something wrong.
Do you have a fear of dying?
I do. That's my biggest fear.
Do you have a fear of being sick? I mean, of having a disease that is hurtful to you?
Yes, yeah.
It would be ugly to have.
Yeah, that would cause me to die.
Right. Okay. And here's the thing. When you said you went to a lot of therapy, what did you talk about?
A lot of it that didn't even have to do with what was going on. A lot of it was they wanted to know my background and stuff like that.
Fair questions.
Yeah, but they never really got to the point of what was going on. They never really helped me.
And what do you think's going on?
Honestly, I have no idea. That's why I'm here. I want you to tell me.
All right. What people don't understand, and when I was in private practice, my practice was in something called behavioral medicine. And that's the point at which psychological functioning and physiological functioning merge and influence each other. What people don't understand is that we can get locked into a neurological pattern where it's kind of like a racetrack with no exit ramp.
Yeah.
You go around and around and around and around and around, you keep looking for a way to get off, and your brain can't do that. And for you, you're in a closed system about being sick and the anxiety that goes along with it. And the reason she keeps going to the doctor is not hoping that she'll be sick, but to get a reassurance, a fix for just a few minutes that she's okay. The anxiety lessens and it begins to build back up again.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so what has to happen is we have to deal with that anxiety, but a simple anti-anxiety agent won't help it because you've got a neurological pattern here that has to be dealt with. So in your defense, some of this may very well be involuntary for her at this point. It's so overlearned. There's an old joke about people that have been in prison for a long time and they're only around each other and they've told the same jokes so much that they don't even need to tell them anymore. They just yell, 27, and everybody breaks out laughing.
Yeah.
It's called automatic thought. And that's what happens here. You have an automatic thought and you have jumped into this
over and over and over
before you have a chance to actually challenge it. So there are some very specific treatments for this available at this point, and it involves some sonic brain stimulation, and it involves some skill sets that you can use to cope with this anxiety other than getting a fix from a doctor. Okay. And what I'm going to do is not set you up with a talking therapist, but set you up with a specialist for hypochondriasis that can deal with this neurologically and psychologically at the same time. And here's the good news. This tends to change with you getting some tools and some power beginning almost immediately and then getting better across time.
Okay.
And so are you willing to do that? I mean, you certainly don't have an aversion
I've tried
to go to
everything
doctors,
else, so.
But this is going to be a very specialized doc, and I don't want you involved.
Okay.
You don't go with her. You don't, we're going to handle this completely differently. That's another issue of this. You've got to deal with this completely on your own.
Okay.
All right? Are you willing to do that?
Yeah.
You got to just step up and do it.
Yeah.
All right, so there is help for this. All right. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.